Karen Drucker to bring us that life-affirming music and ties in with what we stand for as religious science, and that is a blessing to the world. So I greet you today, June 30th, with Grand Rising and welcome you to the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living. We are concluding our June series, Holy Boldness, with our topic, Colorful to the Core, I See Your True Colors Shining Through. I say welcome to those who are joining us here in our center and those who are joining us virtually via Zoom or Facebook or our YouTube channel. And I begin with this quote from Ernest Holmes in our Science of Mind textbook. And Ernest Holmes wrote, "We are all just a little unique, for each wears a different face, but behind each is the one presence, God. Unity does not mean uniformity. Unity means that everything draws its strength, its power, and its ability to live from the one source." And so what Holmes is saying, and what we say to you each Sunday in different ways, is that we each have a unique signature like no one else's. The world would not be the same without us. We all belong here, and we make the world as special as it is. And I invite you to just think about that for a moment. Each one of us, we have our own unique signature. And it is that unique signature that makes us special to the world. Yesterday, there were several of us from our Monterey community that hosted a table at the Monterey Pride event. And it was an amazing opportunity to see each one special and unique in their own individual way. And I need to remind you that our uniqueness extends beyond pride and other cultural or specific celebrations. Our world is abundantly colorful and flavorful instead of homogeneous and monotone. And if you want to see that, look at nature. Nature is our best example of how unique and colorful this life is. And just look around at each one of us. We each are unique. We're wearing different articles of clothing, which identifies us as our uniqueness. We have different hairstyles, different hair color, different eye color, all of these visual things that make us unique. And also on the inside, we are each unique creations of spirit. We have our own spiritual identity that we bring to life, that we bring to the world. I remind us, though, to be mindful of labels and identities. While labels and identities help us to clarify and specify important features, they can also be a very limiting experience. I remember a wise person once said, "Put labels on cans and not on people." People deserve to know and to be recognized for their proper cultures, ethnicities, gender and sexual identities, and so much more. Yet, we do not use our unique identities to limit ourselves or others. Life needs us in order to be complete. Our diversity is a reason for us to celebrate, to sparkle, and to shine in ways that are meaningful to us. Author, life coach, and New Thought spiritual teacher Iyanla Vanzant writes this in her amazing book, One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. God is within you and everything. God is within me and everything. Translated, this means that everything living is a unique representation of God's identity, mind, spirit, and life. I have a little story to share with you that may illustrate this. Lauren, let's call her Lauren, was shy of bright colors, thinking that they were too bold for her personality. However, she secretly admired others who were bold enough to wear bright colors and wished she could do the same in some way. One day she opened up and mentioned this to a friend who she knew had a flair for color and style. And her friend helped her tease out why she was hesitant to wear bright colors. Together, they worked through some of those hidden beliefs with Lauren. And this is one of the tenets of our teaching, is to identify those hidden beliefs that are limiting us from being the true colorful expression of spirit that we are. And it's through working with a practitioner or a trusted friend, or perhaps a counselor or social worker, whoever it is that can work with you to uncover those hidden beliefs, will allow us to move into a greater experience of life. And so, continuing with the story, Lauren's friend suggested that she try a bit of color and to flirt with it a little bit at a time. For instance, wear a colorful scarf or another accessory to test the waters and to become more comfortable with doing so. And as Lauren branched out, became more relaxed, she became a little bolder when she felt ready to. She moved at her own pace. She tried it and reported back to her friend that it worked. And she eventually felt bolder with color and gradually began to integrate it into her outfits beyond just the accessories. And before long, Lauren noticed she was wearing bright colors and feeling comfortable with them. She realized that she had to stop telling the old story to herself. This is a key point in the story. She had to stop telling the old story to herself about her hesitance and to embrace the new story that she looked and felt good in bright colors and was complimented by others. This is a story that we can apply to our own lives. Maybe it's beyond color. Maybe it's something else that is holding one of us back. And when one of us is holding ourselves back, we're holding those around us back. And this is why we talk about living an authentic life, recognizing that we are spirit here on earth. Eric Butterworth, in The Creative Life, writes this: yes, you are the divine original, and the divine intent active as you has one desire, and that is to expressively and creatively express its uniqueness as the perfect idea that is in infinite mind. This is your spiritual destiny. So our great writers and our great thinkers are inviting us to step outside of the box, to color outside of the lines, if you will. This is a sandbox that we're in, and it's okay to spill sand on the sides of the sandbox. It's not going to upset the universe if we spill a little sand out of the sandbox. We are simultaneously all-inclusive, unique beings in God, encompassing indescribable and recognizable areas. And so let us intentionally create an opening for us to sit in the indigenous circle with the expectation and understanding that there will be healing. And so out of our conversations that we have with each other, the goal is to find a middle ground where we respect each other's wishes, serve and support each other while figuring out what we don't yet know about ourselves and being open to the discovery. And this is one of the purposes of our coming together in spiritual community and coming together in our meditation practices or in our classes or in other activities. And that is to be in community, to learn about ourselves, to explore that middle ground. And this is one of the purposes of diversity. There's diversity, and I'm not going political, not going to do that. Diversity, unfortunately, I'll phrase it this way, diversity, unfortunately, is viewed in terms of skin color or ethnicity. And it is so much more than that. It is so much more than that. And so it is when we come together in what is often referred to as indigenous circle, we come together with the intention to discover that middle ground where each voice is recognized, each idea is recognized, each experience is recognized for the value that it brings to the entire circle, to the entire group. And it's not about me having my way or forcing us to come to consensus or forcing us to come to, or leading us into comparison. You know, when the danger of comparison is that we get into that place where we consciously and subconsciously critique ourselves and critique someone else. And it becomes an ego game. You know, well, I've done this and I've accomplished this in my life, you know, and I have all of these degrees, the yada, 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 yada. And the person who may not have experienced the depth and the breadth of life that we have may feel less than. Does this create a level playing field? No, no. The idea of coming together in community is to figure out what we don't yet know about ourselves, be open to discovering that and to discovering it in one another. And this allows us to witness each other with love and openness as we discover what it is that we don't yet understand. And we ask the question, can we embrace each other as unique beings who are colorful to the core in their own individual ways? And can we provide support in stepping out with holy boldness? And I say, yes, we can. Yes, we can. And I see some head nodding, so let's affirm that. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Richard Rohr writes this: each and every creature is a unique word of God with its own message, its own metaphor, its own energetic style, its own way of showing forth goodness, beauty, and participation in the great mystery. As we work on moving with holy boldness during this time of a grand rising, we create a space of newness. We're setting intentions for repentance, forgiveness, love, and gratitude. And as we witness each other, we practice this sacred Hawaiian prayer of reconciliation, which is Ho'oponopono. Some of you may be familiar with it, and I'll share with you a little bit of the background. The prayer includes 4 phrases or 4 statements that can have a long-lasting effect on healing, clearing, and atonement. And the 4 phrases are, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And sometimes the order is shifted around a little bit, but this is the basic order, I'm sorry. And this theory, or the practice of this, I had the opportunity several years ago of being in a weekend retreat with Dr. Hugh Lin. And Dr. Hugh Lin was one of the practitioners of the Ho'oponopono practice. Dr. Hugh Lin is a clinical psychologist, and he was assigned, he had accepted an assignment in Hawaii at an institution for what was identified as a criminally insane. And this place had such a bad reputation that no one wanted to work there as staff because none of them felt safe. Dr. Hugh Lin accepted the assignment, and when he went in, he asked for the administration to bring all of the patient files and leave them in his office. And as he reported, he never looked at any of the files. He never opened any of the files to read any of the details about the patients. What he did every day was practice this healing prayer. I'm sorry. And the I'm sorry is, I am sorry for the deeds of myself and my ancestors and for generations that have caused harm. Please forgive me and my ancestors for any harm that I have caused. Thank you for accepting me as who I am. I love you. And over a period of time, the staff noticed that the patients became more calm, more relaxed, more aware of their true essence. And eventually, there was such success with this that the facility closed because there was no need for that particular space for the criminally insane because people had been healed. And it's not by a laying on of hands. And I'm not saying that that doesn't work for those who believe it. It was through this affirmative practice of prayer. And this is what our spiritual technology of spiritual mind treatment provides that place for us. We begin with recognizing that there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is whole. It is perfect. It is complete. And then we unite ourselves with this by saying, I am one with this life. I am an individual expression of this life. And then we move into the next step, which is declaration. And so we speak our word declaring what it is that we desire in life in first person. I now have this expressing in my life. It is not wishful thinking. It is not pleading. It is not begging for an entity that is outside of us. It is the awareness that I am one with this creation. I am one with this creative intelligence. And therefore, I speak my word declaring what it is that I choose to experience in my life. And then we move into that place of thanksgiving and gratitude, knowing that it has already been done, that the prayer has already been answered, that the request is already fulfilled. We step into that place of gratitude. And then we let it go. We release it into the law, which always says yes, declaring that it is done and it is complete. And the release state, I like to use this analogy. I'm not the originator of it, but it's one that resonates with me. And it's becoming a little bit rare in our culture now, but imagine that you are sending something through the mail, whether it's the U.S. Post Office or some other postal carrier, that you're sending either a letter or a payment or a bill or whatever to. Whatever it is that you package, you take it to the place where it is to be delivered. No, you take it to the place that is the delivery service. Let's use the post office as an example. You have a package that you're mailing. You take it to the post office, they stamp it, you pay for the postal fee, and then you leave. You trust that it is going to arrive at its donation. Now, you may have a tracking slip that allows you to follow the steps along the way, but you don't fold yourself up into the postal screening thing and follow your package along each step of the way. There's a trust that this service is going to do what I have requested it to do. And it's the same way with our affirmative prayers. We trust and know that that divine intelligence within us is going to do what it is that we're requesting, because we request in faith, we request in belief, and we request in trust. And as we practice this Ho'oponopono prayer, we practice it on ourselves first. We say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And as we're doing this, other individuals or other experiences may come up in our lives where there's a time for healing, and a time for clearing, and a time for forgiveness. And so we may name the individual or the experience. And if our intuitive knowingness leads us to have a personal contact with that individual, We may say to the individual, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. It isn't necessary that we do that one-on-one. However, if the opportunity does present itself, do so. And in our awareness, notice it, don't ignore it. You know, we say often in Science of Mind that something told me, Spirit told me to do something. Lean into it, listen to it, don't question it, and find the courage and the holy boldness to say the prayer, allowing our intuitive listening to guide us and to speak directly the words that we include in our prayers and to feel it each time that we release it. So as we move into a conclusion this morning, I share this from Awakened Nation. In the tapestry of life, every moment is a thread of love. Every challenge a step towards growth. Trust in the gentle guidance of your spirit, for within you lies the power to heal, to love, and to share. Embrace your journey with an open heart, knowing that you are a beacon for positivity and light. A word that we use quite often in our teaching is authenticity. Authenticity is a prerequisite for showing up just as we are. It is essential to the inclusive nature of spirit. We are each invited to join every aspect of life, whether human, planet, animal, celestial, or otherwise, knowing it is important for all to play in God's rainbow spectrum of life. And I can declare that here at the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living and in our worldwide Centers for Spiritual Living locations, we fully live out loud our boldness, our healing, and our well-being. And so now is the time to step forward in holy boldness, even if we consider ourselves introverted, quiet, or subdued. We all deserve the right to shine, and we are created to express ourselves out loud, whatever that may look like. We're all created special and unique. Life is inviting us to participate fully, just as we are. Now I invite us to say together our affirmation for the week. I am special, unique, and colorful expression of God. Let's say that again. I am a special, unique, and colorful expression of God. And I invite us now to turn within and to join together in prayer. And what I know to be true is that there is only one life. There's one all-prevailing presence that is holding everything in absolute harmony. It is the life of God. It is a life of creative intelligence. It is a life of holy boldness. It is that which resonates within the heart space of each one. Knowing that I am one with all that there is, I boldly declare today that we are living in this rainbow experience of life, where there is a level playing field, and that we come into this experience as we come together in community to learn about each other, to live out loud in love, recognizing that we each are unique, individualized expressions of spirit. And as I declare this for myself as a full participant in life, I declare it for all who are participating in life to the fullness, to the extent that they are able to do so, knowing that as we continue to grow in consciousness and grow in spirit, that we expand our awareness of the fullness of life and we embrace all that there is. I speak my word of healing this morning for all who are experiencing something that appears to be less than, whether it is a diagnosis, whether it is a life transition, whether it is knowing what the next step is going to be or where it is going to take me. This is an opportunity to trust and to know that the living spirit within is my guide and my guardian. And within my experience and within this infinite intelligence that knows itself and is living itself through me, I cannot fail. I can only exceed. I can only excel. I can only expand and grow in the truth of who I am in God, in spirit, in source. And as I know this to be the truth for myself, I declare it as a truth for all. I bless places where individuals are gathering in the name and nature of the one love and the one truth and the one power that exists in and through and as all. Knowing this to be the truth for all, I release this word into that law which always says yes, and I just allow it to be. And if anything that I have said resonates with you in any way, please affirm it with me as we say together, and so it is. And so it is. And now it is our time for our gracious giving, an opportunity to participate in the divine flow. And we have a prosperity affirmation, that an affirmation of abundance that I would like for us to say together. I recognize the presence of God within as a source of my abundance. Out of my abundance consciousness flows everything I could desire in life. With gratitude and thanksgiving, I now participate in the flow of uninterrupted abundance. This prosperous experience is evidence of my abundance consciousness. And as the ushers pass the basket here in the center, we thank you for your donations, and the ways to donate to the center are on our screen, and I invite you to take advantage of those. And I have, and if you could leave the donation slide up, I want to share thank you and gratitude on behalf of the Board of Trustees for your generous contributions to our computer fund. Last week we announced that we were launching a $1,000 campaign to get a new computer for my office. And that $1,000, just to expand on it a little bit more, the $1,000 includes the purchase of the computer, the time for the technician to install it and transfer everything over, and whatever peripheral documents or additions may be required. And so I am happy to report that, let's see, last week I reported that our donations were around $175. And we received close to an additional $200 during the week. So we're closer and closer to our goal. And so we appreciate you for contributing to the goal. If you would like to make a donation to the goal, there's a special donation box here in the center for you to do so. And if you'd like to make a donation online, you may do so at our website, montereycsl.org. Click on donate and designate that donation for our computer fund. I would also just like to remind us that as we approach the summer months and as we are approaching vacations and time away for relaxation and fun and travel, that the operation of our center does not take a vacation. So I'm inviting you to include the Monterey Center in your expense planning for your summer travel, so so that we can maintain and expand on the programs that we bring and also support the ongoing operation of our center. Once again, thank you for your unwavering your unwavering commitment to our center and to our growth and to our development. And so we say thank you to our extended family that has joined us this morning or viewing on our Facebook Live or are viewing on our YouTube channel. And again, I'm reminding you and requesting of you, as well as those of you who are here in the center, if you have Facebook or if you have YouTube, please go onto our page and click like. We need those likes. It's like asking for campaign dollars. We need those likes. The likes and the comments help the algorithms to expand this message of love and unconditional embracing and joy and the celebration of life. So please do so. Like, comment, and share. And for our virtual family, we invite you to join us next week as we begin our July series. And the title of that series is Practice Makes Perfect. And our topic is, what if perfection isn't the goal? What if perfection isn't the goal? And so we say thank you and good morning to our extended family. And for those who are viewing on Zoom, we invite you to stay on as we continue with the remainder of our time together.